Alright, thank you guys for joining me again for another video. I'm sure you're all looking at this and going, what happened to that time lapse of the base build? Well, I did it, and I was playing some gameplay, trying to get to, I had not as many vehicles as I have now. I had the rover and a small base, and I was trying to get to a point where we could build a spaceship. Died, and for some reason when I died, my entire base got deleted, along with all of my storage boxes and everything I had. That was an interesting bug, but I got a little frustrated, went into creative mode, built this base, got a little carried away, and made it kind of nice. I mean, it's simple, but it's got everything I need. And a couple ground vehicles. And now we're here. So I've got it back in, I think I've got it back in normal mode. Make sure I have it back in normal mode. I don't know if this is where I go to check. Yeah, see, I have way too many stat points, so I'm just not going to be using those. Actually, I'll be right back. Alright, yeah, so went in and confirmed that we are in normal mode now. I was actually still in creative, so I'm glad I did that. Would have been interesting gameplay. But yes, okay, so we're back in creative, just a little further than I was before I cut, but unfortunately, just gonna start from here. Thankfully, this planet the content's not overly exciting. It's very grindy on this planet, so I think getting into space is going to be our best bet for having some fun. I'm going to check out the moon, see what we can find over there. I don't know. I know that when you go up into space, you can see more than just the moon out there. I don't know if you can actually go to any other planets besides just the moon and this one. So that'll be some interesting exploration. We can see what we can do with that. For now, we got a bit of a ways to go because I don't really have many resources. So I will basically be having to fully mine all of these resources and get this spaceship up and running. Hopefully, I have a decent bit of hydrogen. Alright, so let's get started. Thank you guys for leaving me suggestions. Definitely taking a few of them into account, especially the fact that my game was muted last time. Thank you for pointing that out. I made sure to record my game audio to this time, as well as I think I'm going to put some ambient music behind it. I'm not going to use game music because I don't know if it'll end up copyrighted. I know that I can add music myself that I know won't be copyrighted. So I will do that instead of using game music. Hopefully you guys like the music that I choose. I tend to go for more of like a chill, not in the way, but still kind of capturing music choice. But it's interesting, but not overpowering. Yeah, and then another suggestion I got was kind of explaining the game more, and that makes sense. I got carried away just kind of getting into it, trying it out, that I didn't explain the game at all. So I guess what I know of this Osiris New Dawn is that it is a space exploration game of which you crash landed on this planet. The story is going to be something about trying to find your team or find the organization that you're with. And it'll be focused around that concept. I don't really know what they're doing with that. I haven't seen a whole lot of people actually get through any of the storyline, if it's even in the build. And I haven't actually played the story parts myself. So I really don't know what they're doing with the storyline, but that's the premise, is that you're crashing here, and then you're going to craft a base, as I have over here, and try to escape the planet so that you can then try to get back with your people. And I know that you encounter challenges getting further and further away, so there's also larger and larger monsters, basically. I don't really get much bigger aside from the worm, which, if you know Osiris, you very much know of the worm. But if you don't, let me see if I can find the bones. I know they're kind of in this direction. There. So those bones that look very much like, I guess, vertebrae from a snake. Those are actually the vertebrae from the sandworm. Imagine, if you've ever seen the movie Tremors, imagine one of those, except much, much larger. And those are actually supposed to be, and I don't know if they're in this build, supposed to be out in the wastes out that way, kind of past a cliff. Thankfully they don't show up over here. I know that those were one of the first monsters that were put in the game early on in development, and they've refined how they look a lot, and they function better when they are in the game, but I don't know if they're currently in the game. What am I doing? Alright, oh yes, I know why I came back. I came back because I felt like an idiot for not using vehicles that I have specifically for the purpose of exploration. Yeah, so there's a handful of vehicles in the game right now. This is my favorite because I grew up playing MechWarrior, and this just feels like a very modern version. Obviously, MechWarrior 5 came out, and that's a very good game, but this just feels very good to me, since I used to play that. Obviously not as simulated. I mean, it's just very use your WASD and shift to sprint, space to jump, and look around with your mouse. But it still feels very fun, and the guns feel very powerful when you shoot them. Of course, they don't seem to aim very well, but that could just be user error. But yeah, so they feel very cool, and I've always thought that mechs were just such a cool concept, and I would love to see them become more. I mean, I know people build their own kind of tributes to them, but I'd love to see a real one with an applicable purpose in real life. I think that would be very cool. Thought that was a skelepod. It's just a rock. Paranoia. Oh lord. That's something I've seen in a couple of people's videos actually, but I'd never experienced myself. Is for some reason sometimes when you hop out of these, they dance. Yeah, and make noises. It's a line from iRobot. Sometimes bits of code end up becoming sentient. That thing. Yeah, look at it. It's dancing. Happy Feet robot over there, going crazy. What are you doing? I hear you. So I think I'm gonna actually record another game today, kind of branch into another game, because the goal of today in this is to get the spaceship, and then the next video we would be going into space. because I don't think there's a whole lot to do in this planet besides what I've been doing and going to these various mines. But there's a lot to do in space. But I think that it's still something where I should probably provide you guys another game to watch, because it's enough to kind of keep interested, but definitely not enough to base a whole channel off of. So I'm gonna be playing a game called Under the Sand. It's a travel exploration game where it's kind of like a post-apocalyptic game. It takes set in, like, it feels like a western-y kind of western-y America, and you get an old truck and you just drive around surviving and looking for things to sell, to upgrade or repair your truck. And it's interesting because of the vehicle, it puts a new take on survival game. I don't honestly know what I'm looking for at this point. I'm just kind of, I want to fight things with this because this thing is so fun to fight with. I don't have bandages, so I'm probably going to end up dying anyway, so YOLO, get in a fight and make it happen. And you guys can let me know if you really wanted to see the time-lapse of the base build. I will gather resources and build another base to do a time-lapse. I just, out of frustration, didn't record the second base build, and I didn't feel like putting up the video of me building the first base when I don't have that base. It kind of feel weird. So I'll record another base build if that's something you guys would like to see. I don't mind doing time lapses, they're actually quite fun to edit. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and continue with this gameplay. Still getting the feel for all this, and I love getting feedback. Helps me refine it, helps me be more interesting to you. And if you guys have any games that you'd like for me to play, just let me know what they are, and I'd be happy to try them out. I'm also going to be playing Overwatch because I stopped playing it for a few years, came back to it, and it is quite enjoyable. I forgot how fun that game was, so I'll be playing that as like another kind of series where I'll do like a match or two at a time and just kind of commentate while I play. Hopefully it'll be a little bit more exciting since it's faster paced. That'll be kind of fun as well. Oh yeah, I think I was talking about the types of vehicles in the game, and I kind of stopped at this one, didn't I? So they have this mech, and obviously the rover. It's the rover, it's got a very large inventory capacity, so if you're going around collecting materials like I'm doing, it is the better bet. You will be able to collect for a long time. Basically just strip mine the whole planet with it. But I chose to go with the rover, or with the walker, because obviously I explained that. And then there is also the Gav, which is, it looks kind of like the rover, but a little bit shorter, and it has a massive turret on the front of it. And it's got a very small inventory, but it is faster than the walker, and I think a little bit more maneuverable. I need to make bandages, don't I? Go back to base and see if I can make actual bandages, because these are kind of junk. Actually, before I even consider that, I'm gonna need these little bushes. So there's a whole bunch of them right here. That's lucky. But yeah, so the Gav, it's fast and it has a giant gun, and that pretty much sums it up. as well as there's also the hover bike. It's a kind of, I don't know why they call it a bike, because it's almost like a square shape, but it's definitely a hover vehicle, and it is extremely fast. I tend not to use it because it is so fast that you're very likely to get hurt, and that to me kind of defeats the purpose. You know, if I'm gonna move so fast that I'm gonna end up dying, I'm not really gonna make any progress, so I tend not to use that. But it is very fun, so a lot of people like that one. And then there's the crab walker, which I'm sure you saw it at my base, and if you didn't know what it was, it may have been very weird to see that sitting there and not attacking me. It's because it is a vehicle, actually. Well, that's why I can't make any bandages. I have no room. And this is why it pays to take a rover. Now, I always press E to get out. It's not the key, you have to press F. Let's just throw you, and what else is heavy? You look heavy. Iron, wait, iron. There we go. Alright. But yeah, so crab walker, hover walker, gav, rover. I think all I missed was the spaceship, which obviously we've talked about. I don't know. I have a TBI, so I forget things very easily and get kind of mixed up in what I'm doing. I hope that ends up being more entertaining to watch than it is frustrating to watch, but feel free to yell at me if I'm missing things or something. There we go. I also need to eat and drink. Oh Lord. Alright. It's good enough for now. I think I used too many bandages. I wasn't really paying attention to how many I needed to use. Monsters in this game are so cool looking. My favorite part. Oh, I jumped on one. Die. Right. Boom, boom, boom. So fun to use. The other advantage to using the walker is that currently there doesn't seem to be a fuel requirement for it. I feel like that's not supposed to be like that, but it is. So it's something to take advantage of if you're playing this yourself. Remember that the walker does not take any fuel. I think the spaceship's actually the same way. It's supposed to take fuel, but it doesn't seem like it uses any. Could be wrong on that. But this one I know for sure, like there's no fuel gauge, there's no, like all the other vehicles when you walk up say like fill with hydrogen, this does not. There we go. So that's a major advantage, of course. But for now, I think I'm gonna try to take the rover out. You can also, I built these little robots just because I never had. I'm not using them because I know that the mining one passively mines around your base, so that's kind of neat, but I don't know what the security ones. In the experimental branch, I had, well, I can't find it, but there's a little blue one that's called the personal assistance droid. No idea what it's supposed to do, because when I had one in the experimental branch, it did nothing. So I don't know if it's supposed to do nothing or if it does something now, or if it still does nothing, but it's supposed to do something. But when I had one, it did nothing. I also got that. I don't know if you saw the little guy walking around with the rifle over there, but that is the security droid. Just built it because I wanted to know what it was, and it's a dude with a gun, so it's kind of interesting. Oh lord, that was close. I thought it hit me. Why is this skybox all like that? I think I'm still in 4K. Yeah. Still 4K in high quality, it just looks really weird. Maybe my poor GPUs are just tired of me because I've been trying to use them for Dogecoin mining. Hold the Doge! But for real though, hold on to it. Getting rid of it's what causes it to drop. If you are using cryptocurrency. Which I highly suggest. I advocate for cryptocurrency. All the meat. Oh, and lead. Alright. Cool. Yeah, this dude. He's a little personal, like, security droid. And you can make them follow you. You can also open the inventory. Like, this one doesn't have much. I guess the point of the personal assistance one is it has a decently large inventory. And then this thing, yeah, the Mecha Crab, it's neat. Again, doesn't require any sort of fuel that I can tell, although it says, like, in the rover, their power meter seems to be where you would find when it needs to be fueled, and it drops when it's running out of fuel. And this has the power meter, so I figured it would run the same way, but it doesn't. Never lower. But this thing, it's good for climbing walls. Oh, I am freezing to death. Okay, well, I have a temperature control unit in the base. But it's not as fast, and kind of the legs are so big that it just kind of feels like it takes up the screen. It's a little bit awkward, so I don't prefer to use that. But it is an option. Oh, there's an airlock. I don't want to go out. Forgot I had 2 airlocks. Alright, so basic, I guess, tour, even though we were in here earlier in the episode. Biodome. I'm growing food. Oh, well, it's done growing. This is good stuff right here. You grow all your nummy fruits. Potato. Of course, you know, growing vegetables, got to keep your diet rich. Oxygenator, I just kind of kept the climate controller, and I think the water. Do I have the water thing? I don't think I put it in here because it doesn't really seem to serve much of a purpose. You can definitely fill your thirst on it, but it doesn't. Like, I feel like if you have a water tank or a liquid tank that is dedicated to water, and you have a water reclaimer, it should slowly fill your water tank. That's what I feel. Just filling your dehydration whenever you go up to it is nice, but just not necessary, I guess. Oh look, I had made a bunch of bandages and I just didn't take them. Ooh, I have a gun now. Forgot I made that. I don't use this, so you go away. Also have a ton of lockers in here, so that's gonna be nice. The chem station, of course. Lots of plastics and rubbers. I should probably make some med kits, but I'm not going to. And this is what you get from the moon. One of the things you get from the moon is cubic zirconia, which allows you to build like the advanced fabricator and whatnot. Outside the kitchen, where you make your baked potatoes and steamed carrots. Good stuff. Grilled alien meat. I have so much of that now. Alright. Here I'm going to deposit all of this. Just going to keep that because I might be able to use that in the ship. What? Can I not put that? Okay, whatever. Makes no sense. I'm trying to keep materials. Just the food stuffs can go. Keep doing that. I don't need a rock. For that. What? I got hit by another one? That's so weird. Whenever you stand here, you can hear the rain. Also, the rain seems to be falling through the roof. That's odd. Shower, boop, stand buff, and saved. Alright, take me down. I wish the lighting was a little bit more good looking, I guess. Oh, I do have a water reclaimer, look at that. Yeah, see, 31 thirst, but it doesn't really do anything other than that. Alright. Always scares the crap out of me. Cool. Let's see if we can build, or what we need to build the dude. What do you have? Yeah, see, he just randomly mines stuff, brings it to you. Yeah, see, the personal assistant droid. I think he's just for inventory. After I thought about it, kind of makes sense. Okay, I don't want him. Spaceship. I need 50 aluminum, 8 magnesium, 15 titanium. How long have we been going? Alright, so we've actually been recording for quite a while now, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here, and when we come back I'll have this spaceship. I'll just do some off-camera mining for that, because I got distracted and just talked through this whole episode. But if there's any features that I've kind of talked about that you want to see, let me know. I'll make sure to include them. Got some vehicle footage in here, so you guys got to see that. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, this is the rover. It's very fun to drive around, and as you can see, let's see if I can press the right key. Has quite a large inventory, so you can weigh this thing down with all your ores and whatnot, and it will keep on trucking. Alright, so I'll see you in the next video. Thank you again for watching.